All right, your opening comedian coming from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Give it up for Scott Bedgood.
What's up, Nashville? Well, Ryman, how we doing? We doing good? All right, we're gonna have a great night tonight. That's awesome. This is amazing to be here. My name is Scott Bedgood, like he said, B-E-D-G-O-O-D, just like it sounds, yeah. And it's pretty obvious how I made it up here because we grew up with this last name. You know, first you start by trying to live up to it. And when that fails, you learn to be funny. So that's how I got out at the Ryman, so I feel pretty good about that. Yeah, we're at the Mother Church of Country Music. You guys are sitting in pews. That's amazing. We're all comfortable. So I feel comfortable telling you guys that I am a Christian. Did that petered out faster than I expected? But Christians, let's be honest, we do say weird things to each other. Yeah, like when I turned 33, my friend texted me and said, "Hey man, happy birthday, it's your Jesus year." I was like, Jesus died at 33. So, and Jesus was God and he could pick the age he wanted to die, and he was like, 33, that's the peak. You know? Guys, I'm 35 now, and as always, Jesus was right. It's been downhill. You know, I think Jesus went to his annual physical. The doctor was like, "Hey Jesus, I think it's time to start turning that wine back into water. Hydration's important. And with those knees, I think your walking on water days are behind you." And Jesus was like, "Dang, at least I can still break bread with the homies." And the doctor was like, "Ugh, you are gluten intolerant. So maybe just one final last supper with the boys." People don't like the end of that joke, but I do. So I keep doing it. Maybe you guys think that's offensive, right? I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm always trying to learn the words we're not allowed to say anymore. Like, did you guys know we're not allowed to say homeless anymore? Yeah, I was supposed to say something like unhoused, because a house is a living situation. But a home is a state of mind. Home is where the heart is. So you can live on the street and not have a house, but feel at home on the street. And I think that's good, because on the way here, I walked down Broadway, and that houseless guy looked right at home, taking a dump on the sidewalk. His heart was in it. I mean, it's amazing being here at the Ryman. It's my first time performing at the Ryman. This is unbelievable. Thank you so much. I mean, first of all, shout out to Chris D'Elia. He's the one here. So give him the credit, that's amazing. That's something I can look up to, right? I want to, one day be at that level. But I can tell you this, that I'm doing something that he's never done. I'm headlining Billy Goat Coffee in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Who's never done that? July 10th. Go to my Instagram, @Scott Bedgood. I posted the link in the stories. I'll see you guys there. I think it seats 45, so you guys can come. But yeah, please follow me on Instagram. Please come out to that show. That would be, oh yeah, that would be amazing. All right. Yeah, I live in Chattanooga, Tennessee. All right. We moved there a year ago from Texas. Even more exciting, not California. Yeah. Now, we love it in Chattanooga. We love to hike, although there's some danger we have to look out for that we're not used to. Small danger. We have ticks, a lot of ticks out there. Ticks are mean, right? They get their teeth in you, you can't pull them off, Yeah, that's right. I grew up in East Texas, and we don't really worry about ticks. We have them, we don't worry about them because we have bigger, easier to spot danger that we're worried about. Like we have alligators, we have wild hogs, and we have meth heads. And meth heads are much easier to spot than ticks, and easier to pull off you. No teeth. Just come right on. But living here in Tennessee, coming from Texas, very similar states, right? We both love country music, we're both very prideful about our states. But Texas, I realized when I go back, we're mostly just prideful about unhealthy foods. You know, like I walked by a women's boutique and I had a shirt that said Bluebell ice cream, Whataburger, George Strait, queso, okay. We're still going though, queso, sweet tea, barbecue, Texas forever. And I was like, man, that lady listens to country music while on dialysis. You know, Texas might be forever, but I don't think she has long. George Strait had 60 songs go #1. But yeah, that's right. But I think that lady should worry more about type 2. These are diabetes jokes, guys. I'm gonna do one more because this is the Mother Church of Country Music. I have another George Strait joke because he had a song called Check Yes or No. And I think that lady should be checking her feet for toes. These are diabetes jokes we're doing. We're doing diabetes humor here at the Ryman. So this has got to be a low point for the Ryman, to be honest. But I am from Tyler, Texas. All right. Tyler is the Rose capital, and our most famous resident is Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. Relax. I like Patrick. I'm more of a fan of his teammate Travis Kelce. Relax. Not because of Taylor Swift. We just have some things in common, okay? We're both tall. I'm 6'4". We both have this mustache, and we both wish we were black. You guys ever heard him talk? And that's why I wish I was black, because a black guy can say anything and it sounds cool, right? Like if a black guy had a gun, he could say, I got that thing on me. That sounds pretty cool. If I had a gun and I said, I've got that thing on me, you'd be like, I know a good dermatologist. It's called a mole. We should get that removed very quickly. But I listen to a lot of rap music. I have nowhere to use the lyrics, right? Like, I wish, like, when my sons ask me for advice, I could hit them with that street knowledge. But it doesn't work when it comes from me, right? Like, if they said, hey, Dad, how do I maintain strong relationships? I wish I could be like, man, I stopped smoking with haters back in '94. I mean, it sounded cool when Pimp C said it, but when Scott B says it, it doesn't really work, you know? Because I was 4 years old in 1994. I don't smoke and I don't have haters because I don't do anything well. So, or if when they're turning 16 and they're like, Dad, what do I do if the police pull me over and they want to search my car for drugs? I'd be like, oh, you say the glove compartment's locked, so it's the trunk in the back, and I know my rights, so you're gonna need a warrant for that. Be like, whoa, you some type of lawyer or something? You somebody important or something? I'd be like, hey, you passed the bar, but I know a little bit. Because I've listened to 99 Problems by Jay-Z a lot. So I get my legal advice. But would I tell a cop that he can't search my car for drugs? Look at me. I'm giving a cop a guided tour of my car, okay? I don't have drugs in there. I actually don't know anything about drugs. Like, this is true. My wife and I, in our first apartment, started smelling a real skunky smell come from the vents 20 minutes after 4 every afternoon. It never once occurred to us that our neighbors were just smoking weed. I'm not kidding you. I called the apartment complex and reported that a skunk died in their vents. They didn't even send to maintenance, man. They showed American 183 and raised our rent. These snitches out of here, you know? My wife and I, we've been married for 11 years. Thank you. When you've been married this long, people ask you for marriage advice. I don't have it. Because all the marriage advice I got was just some old guy like, hey man, just let her win the argument. She's probably right anyway. I can't live my life that way, okay? I'm 35 years old. I quit all rec league sports because I kept getting hurt. I don't play video games or gamble, and if I beat my 6-year-old son at anything, he cries for 3 hours. An argument with my wife is the only thing I have left to win in life, okay? And I don't win a lot. In fact, I lose all the time. I stack up loss on loss on loss on loss, year after year after year. I'm the Tennessee Titans of my marriage. I'm sorry, Nashville. I had to do it. No, my wife and I are very different though. She's very afraid of embarrassment. She's so afraid of embarrassment that when she sees someone else doing something embarrassing, she feels it in her own body. It's called secondhand embarrassment. And that is why she doesn't come to my comedy shows. But this was on full display the other day because we were in the bathroom and I was about to get in the shower, so I was fully naked. She was brushing her teeth, so she was fully clothed. And I know I just made the whole Ryman think about me fully naked. And I want to be clear, it's worse than you could imagine. Because this pale skin, this sees the sun, okay? I was at the beach last week, all right? It gets more pale, okay? And we had these pull-down blinds, and they were about halfway down, and I went to pull them down. They slip out of my hands, they shoot up. Now I'm standing there, shining paleness to the whole neighborhood. And I looked to my fully clothed wife for help, and she's on her hands and knees, hands over her head, eyes closed. And I said, hey, help me. She goes, oh yeah. I was just so embarrassed for anyone who had to see you naked. It's terrible. You know, we're very different in like how we think and stuff. She's very good at school. She finished top of her class in college, but when you spend so much time studying, you miss out on some common sense things. Like she and her roommate in sophomore year of college watched their TV in black and white the entire semester because they plugged their RGB cables in wrong. Like red, green, blue, you know? And the worst part about that is her roommate is now a doctor. So she could diagnose you with cancer, but couldn't diagnose that red was plugged into green. Like she was going to anatomy lab, cutting open someone's dead grandma named Ethel, and then coming back home and watching One Tree Hill like it's I Love Lucy. It's terrible. It's terrible. But we have 2 kids, a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, and our 6-year-old is very smart, but he's kind of difficult behavior-wise, if I'm honest. And I think those things go hand in hand. So he's learned to read, which is great. Except my wife and I are very scared because that means he's going to come up to us very soon and be like, hey, why are there so many books in this house called How to Raise a Difficult Child? Like, I don't know, you tell us, smart guy. We didn't even buy any of those. They were all given to us. So you figure that one out. But he loves like random trivia stuff. I love random trivia stuff too. I'll ask a trivia question. I'm not looking for individual answers. Just kind of, you know, I know Chris said don't shout out, but just like answer it all at once. You know, what type of bear kills the most people in the United States each year? Polar, black, brown. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, grizzly. All right, interesting. Gummy. These are diabetes jokes, that's right, thank you. You know what? I'm gonna give you a free magnet after the show. The magnets, they say I got that thing on me. They have an alligator and a rose on them, those are references. The only thing missing is a meth head, and I think we found one, so. All right. No, but y'all are awesome. You know, the thing that we both really love a lot is geography, and like I probably could beat anybody in this room in a geography quiz, and that is not a cool brag. You know, like that's never gonna make me more money or bail me out of a situation. No one's ever gonna kidnap my family and be like, we'll let him go if you tell us the capital of Mongolia, right? Like that stuff just like, that's not a thing that's gonna happen, you know? But we get obsessed with stuff. My son, ever since we moved to Chattanooga, he's been obsessed with 2 things, bluegrass and NASCAR, you know? So the sport invented by moonshiners and the music about moonshine. You know, most parents are afraid of catching their kid drinking alcohol. I'm afraid of catching my kid making alcohol. So, but we joined a new church lately, and I think no matter how much you like your church, and my kids love going to church, but man, that hour before we go to church every Sunday is the most stressful and sinful time of the week. You know? I'm just yelling at my kid to get in the car so he can go color a picture of Jesus and eat Starburst. Like, why does he want to do this, you know? But no matter how stressful that is for any normal denomination, I would say there's got to be one denomination that is the most stressful getting your kid ready for church, and that is Snake Church. You guys know about Snake Church? Yeah, oh, we got a few congregants, yeah. So it's these Pentecostal churches, and they release venomous snakes throughout the congregation. People get filled with the Spirit, and they pick up the snakes. And you might be like, that's amazing that they don't get bit, and they get bit. They get bit quite a bit, okay? Can you imagine how stressful it is getting a kid ready for Snake Church? You know, but I do think they have a better threat than I do. My best threat is get in the car right now or all the pink starbursts are gonna be gone. You're gonna be picking between red and yellow, okay? But a snake church parent can say, get in the car right now or all the king snakes are gonna be picked up. You're gonna be picking be picking up coral snakes. That's red and yellow, kill a fellow, you know what I mean? I messed up that joke, that's fine, don't worry about it. Let's act like that didn't happen. Yeah, that was, yeah. No, I'm kidding. In addition to 2 kids, we do have 2 dogs. And I love having dogs. The only time I don't like having dogs is when I take them for a walk and one of them poops in someone's yard, and I forgot a poop bag. You been here before? Yeah, because you know right inside that house is Deborah. Ready to report you on Nextdoor, right? And there's nothing you can do that doesn't get reported on Nextdoor, right? Because if you take off running to get a poop bag, she's already posted, this guy's dog pooped in my yard and he ran away. If you walk away casually, this guy's dog pooped in my yard, he didn't care. If you cover it with some leaves, this guy tampered with a crime scene, right? Like, there's nothing you can do, right? Because you've got to be able to non-verbally communicate to Deborah that you are going to go back to your house, get a poop bag, come back and dispose of the poop properly, right? So I figured out what to do. So lock in, everybody, because you got to pay attention, because this is a secret. You have to become the world's largest mime, okay? So it's got to be like that. Report that, Deborah! Guys, it has been amazing being here. Like I said, I am going to be headlining in Mount Juliet, so please come see me there or follow me on Instagram at Scott Bedgood. And after the show, selling magnets, selling stickers, please just come hang out. We'd love to meet you guys. This is a super cool thing to be performing at the Ryman. It's unbelievable, you know what I mean? Unbelievable. But I will say, what I love about comedy is that I get to talk about the things that I'm obsessed with, and people pay money to listen to it. And it doesn't matter what I talk about, they have to listen, you know? That's great. And dudes, we do get obsessed with a lot of things. Like a lot of dudes are obsessed with like cryptocurrency, and they want to talk about that all the time. I'm not, because I don't understand it at all. Okay? And that's fine. There's a lot of things that I am obsessed with trying to figure out, I can't. You know, like, I'll just think of one I haven't thought of before, spider webs. You guys understand spider webs? I don't, because I'll walk on a sidewalk at night, and it's like perfectly fine, it's very clear, and then I walk on that same sidewalk in the morning, and then, whoa, face full of silk. Where'd that come from? I look up, there's a tree 50 feet in the air, there's a stop sign 50 feet that way, there's nothing over here. I think you need 3 anchor points for it to be kind of right there. And here's the thing, spiders, what do they not have? They don't have wings. How did it get from the tree to the stop sign over and over and over again? How did it do that? And I talk about this all the time. And one of my friends, he goes, static electricity. He goes, spiders can fly hundreds of miles via electromagnetic waves. I was like, you can't just make up stuff and think I'm gonna believe that. You know? I've never been hit in the face with a flying spider. I don't know about spiders that go on vacation from Nashville to Chattanooga all the time. And here's how I know that's definitely not true. Here's how I definitely know it's true, because Spider-Man has really been sandbagging us, if that's true, right? How many crimes could he have stopped in New York City if he'd have zipped across the city on electromagnetic waves? But instead, he's bungee jumping off the Empire State Building, just oh, that guy got mugged. You know what I mean? And I know you guys are really into this, and I'm gonna keep going on it. But Spider-Man, he gets bit by a radioactive spider, and he becomes half man, half spider. And his webs, where do they come out of? They come out of his wrists. I don't know a lot about spiders, but I think we all know where the webs come out of. Let's say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. That's right, their butt. So why is he not flying around New York City like this? That like I got mugged. You know what I mean? Like, listen, knowing more about spiders and spider webs and Spider-Man is not gonna ever make me more money or bail me out of a situation. But frankly, neither is knowing more about cryptocurrency, you know? Or knowing more about Ulaanbaatar. That's the capital of Mongolia. I told you I was better than you in geography. Hey, I'm Scott Bedgood.
very much.